As soon as there was talk at my school about a potential shutdown due to COVID-19, I immediately gave up my lunch period and I started spending that time in my campus food pantry, and I was putting together backpacks for my peers to take home who came from food insecure households.
Students are not in class, and this is where we've gotten our letters from in the past. We've had teachers that have had students write. We don't have that right now. So she's been able to fill a lot of that void with having these events where people can write cards.
What would normally be a nursing home ended up being hospital wards because these people couldn't leave their rooms. They were all very sick. I was working on the COVID unit. And so all of the residents that I was working with at the time were sick with COVID. They had all tested positive.
And I'm a practicing pediatric ophthalmologist, and we needed masks for our patients and staff. And Mary Beth made great eyeball masks that the kids just love, and we use every day, and we get so many compliments, and I always pitch it back to Mary Beth as having protected us and our staff so well.
Our COVID-19 task force here in New Hampshire, since the beginning to now, we have every week, every Friday, we have a meeting. We collect the problems and find out the person who needed the problems, and then we are trying to solve their problem as much as we can.
To be honest, at first we were confused on how and what should we do during this pandemic. But after we knew that about the virus and guidelines help us make a path to help the needy ones, our club did 2 projects during COVID-19.
We established one helpline, hotline number. And then we have 7 people over there. One is the legal section, one social worker and doctors, all the umbrella organization. And during that time, so busy, but all we are doing virtually and online, but always busy to help them.
She helps us with all of our COVID procedures right now, including cleaning, temperature taking, documentation of all the COVID related things that we need to be doing at this moment.
It was very nice that we were able to adapt when this pandemic came about. And instead of having the people come in, we were able to go to them.
We had to actually take our event and completely reimagine it. It went from an indoor auction inside of a music hall to an outdoor drive-in auction outside. So she changed things up, and our theme was Roaring 20s. So she did something like this, where she added the car, and she really helped us embrace the whole drive-in concept.
You know, Celeste was one of the first calls that we made when we were ready to open the doors again. I think because of the mutual trust that we have as an organization in Celeste, and the trust that Celeste also has in us, she was ready to step up and step in.
We would put the donations, all the food, into their cars for them. So they had no contact with us. We had masks on and whatnot, but we did that all winter long, snow and everything.
But I've been able to collaborate a lot more with staff. We do a lot more meetings, I feel like, and have created more working groups that we can expand our projects.
Times when people would show up at my door in the middle of the night or early in the morning with hundreds of masks that they've produced.
You know, they've got masks not just for themselves to keep themselves safe, but also to have a wide enough variety and sizes of masks for their clients to put on, so that it's, and it's been a great way for us to educate people who might otherwise not have known that masks were so important early on in the pandemic.
Our volunteers joined in at the beginning of June, and we've been going 4 days a week to 8 different distribution sites around Nashua, and we deliver around 300 pounds of food to every site. And I thought it was incredible that our staff and our volunteer stepped forward during a pandemic because they saw a need in the community and they wanted to make a difference.
We made sure to educate the community in what sort of care and measures we were taking to ensure that the process remained safe and that people felt comfortable and confident in knowing that, they wouldn't be exposed to COVID.
We were able to give out some money to the students, and we were Also able to supply them food from the Nepali based stores, Indian Nepali foods from the stores.
You know, in a time of need, whether it was through food distribution and handing out, you know, thousands of pounds of food and being a site where people could get a hot meal, to, you know, handing out gift cards for those in need, you know, or just mentoring kids via Zoom.
A little bit of it was technology challenging to some of our members, but we navigated through that and learned how to use video and email, and some of us even resort back to regular phone calls now. So one way was kind of adapting ourselves to different mentoring styles.